Hi everyone, I'm Craig Taylor, Implementation Manager at Smith Cooper Systems Partners. Now, the most important part of any business is getting paid. Having good credit control functionality that allows you to collect debts more quickly will improve your cash flow. Sage200 has basic functions to help with credit control, and for some companies this is enough, but for a lot of companies these functions can be too basic and time consuming. For these companies we offer Credit Hound. So, in this video, I'm going to give an overview of the credit control options in Sage200 itself, and also an overview of Credit Hound. So let's start by looking at Sage200. Sage200 has three controlling features for credit control. So if we go into the sales ledger, and we'll open up a customer. So each customer has payment terms, and these help to calculate invoice due dates. They comprise of a number of days and a start point for the calculation. Each time that you enter a customer invoice, Sage200 uses the customer's payment terms to calculate the date by which payment for that invoice is expected. So we can set here either to be calendar monthly or number of days from start of month, end of month, or from a document date. If we go into the sales ledger settings, we have an aging tab where we can actually specify the default payment terms. But in here we can also set up different aging periods. Aging periods are used to group outstanding transactions by the number of days that have passed since they were posted. And we can actually set between 3 and 8 separate periods. Transactions are aged from the invoice date entered into the system, and your aging periods are used by the aged debt reports and customer statements. So as well as aging periods for debtors, we also specify the number for our due date periods. The due date periods highlight if transactions have passed their due dates. You can have 3 to 8 in line with the debtor aging periods, and each of the due date periods can actually link to debtor letters, where you can have specific letter templates designed for each due date period. Now, the due date is calculated based on the payment terms for the customer. Due date periods and the transactions that fall into them are printed on our due date reports and debtor letters. For the process of chasing debts, we have a few different functions. Firstly, if we go into sales inquiries, we've got the transaction inquiry screen. So if I select a customer, this displays a list of transactions for the customer. We can filter between just those which are outstanding, which is ideal for credit control, and all transactions that have been entered on the account. We've got a button at the bottom here so we can get through to the account inquiry, which will give us access to contact details for the main account or specific contacts. In terms of credit control, we can select transactions, and one of the drill down options is to enter a memo. And we can easily see from the list of transactions if there's a memo already on the account and if it's active or inactive based on the letter displayed. In addition, we've got the credit control workspace inquiry. Now, like all workspaces, this is split into multiple sections, each of which interact with the other. So within here, from the first section, I can select the particular customer who I want to contact. On the right-hand side, will give me some details relating to that customer account. So I've got the main company details, and I've also got some other options within here to select specific contacts, or maybe get to account memos. Within the bottom section, I can see a list of transactions, outstanding transactions for the selected customer. And here I can select a particular transaction, and now the details section relates to the transaction that I've got selected. Again, there are some additional options if I wanted to see any allocation history or perhaps transactional memos. The idea really with this screen is I can select a customer, get the contact details, phone the customer up, and then go down the list of transactions which I want to discuss. Now, another screen that we've got within Sage200 is the account status. From the list view, I could select a particular customer, select account status, and here I can place a customer on hold. I'd also come in here to take them off hold. Once the customer's on hold, this will prevent other transactions from being entered for them. Now, the other functions that we've got in Sage200 are by the way of reporting. Within reports, we've got a credit control section, Within here, we've got a number of different age debt reports, detailed, summary, different sort of orientation. We've got the due date reports, again detailed and summary. As I mentioned earlier, we can generate debtor letters which work in line with our due date periods. And finally, we can create statements of account and send them to our customers. Okay, so now let's look at what Credit Hound has to offer. Credit Hound has a separate user interface from Sage200, but links directly to it, synchronizing your sales ledger data across. When users log in, they're presented with a dashboard. This gives credit controllers a really good snapshot of their current debtors position with nice graphical and colour-coded views. So we can easily see here who's paid me recently, how much cash I've been promised, got a list of disputes and to-do items from previous chases, and I can see who has my money and where the breakdown is. I have an accounts list showing all of our customers which have come through from Sage200. This list can easily be filtered and sorted by the columns on display. We can actually categorise our customers based on their current status with us, and we can also put them into groups for access purposes if we have different credit controllers that need to chase different sets of customers. Now with Credit Hound, we can chase manually or automatically. So here I've come into the chase screen, which is used for manual chasing, where you are generally picking up the phone and talking to the customer. So you've got good visibility of the outstanding transactions, any previous history on chasing these transactions, and also some key information such as the contact list. So within here we can start to chase the customer, and we can enter notes into this section here, or we can right click and flag a transaction with a reason or a dispute. Based on the different reasons available, we can create different prompts to allow the chaser to ask the correct questions based on the answers and excuses of the customer. As part of completing the chase, internal or external letters can be created and sent as required. Any follow-ups that are required after a chase are automatically entered into the Credit Hound calendar or to-do list. So the credit controller knows what they need to follow up and when. These appointments are fully linked to Sage200, which means if a payment is made before the scheduled follow-up, Credit Hound will automatically complete it. Finally, in Credit Hound, rules and actions can be created, so you can tell Credit Hound if a customer or transaction meets a certain rule, then perform a particular action. So in here, we can add a rule or we can edit a rule. We give it particular criteria and the action we want it to complete. The action could be to write a letter, create a diary entry, or maybe put a customer on stop, something like that. Now we can set up rules and actions for somebody to come in here and run as they require, or we can take this a step further and we can schedule Credit Hound to automatically run rules. The final advantage of Credit Hound is, as it's a Draycir product, it does fully integrate with Spindle, allowing you to distribute documents as you require. Now, if you are interested in other videos about Sage200, Credit Hound, or other add-ons available for Sage200, please remember to subscribe to our channel, and thank you very much for watching.